The Denver Broncos made a move that barely made headlines at the time, but now it's proving to be a total game changer. We're not talking about Bo Nix today, we're talking about Bo Lowry. And by the time this story's done, Broncos country might just be calling him the unsung hero of the entire franchise. See, in the NFL, there's a saying, the best ability is availability. And Bo Lowry, he masters that. This guy isn't just part of the staff, he's the architect of durability. Wherever he goes, injuries go down. Simple as that. Let's break it down. Before coming to Denver, Lowry made a serious impact with the New Orleans Saints and the LSU Tigers, but it's his recent work with the Broncos that's turning heads. Since Bo Lowry joined the team, Denver has become one of the least injured squads in the NFL. In his first season, only 32 players landed on the injury report, the second lowest total in the league. Last year, that number dropped to 16. Yes, the average games lost AGL rose slightly because some players missed extended time, like Alex Singleton. But the trend is clear. The Broncos are staying healthier, longer. Now let's rewind to what came before. The Nathaniel Hackett era was a disaster. The team was soft, unprepared, and physically falling apart. Rest days became routine. Practices were watered down. At one point, there were food trucks on the practice field, as if it was a festival, not a football team. And what did that get us? A broken roster. The most injured team in football, both on the stat sheet and in spirit. But those days are over. With Bo Lowry steering the ship, the Broncos are building something tough, resilient, and ready for war. And that matters even more now as Denver brings in fresh free agents who are going to benefit from a program built around keeping players healthy and available. Some fans still believe all this injury luck is just a coincidence. But let me be clear, it's not luck. It's strategy. Yes, football is violent. Yes, fluke injuries happen. But the overall health of a team, that's no accident. It's a direct result of how you build your program, how you train, how you recover, how you prepare every single day. And Bo Lowry, he's the mastermind behind that structure. Let's go back to the disaster before he arrived. In Nathaniel Hackett's final season, the Broncos had a brutal 148 games missed due to injury. That wasn't just the worst in the NFL, it was historically bad. To put that into perspective, the team right behind us, the Tennessee Titans, had 122 games missed. That's a 26-game gap, and the drop from the Titans to the 8th most injured team, the Ravens, was the same size as the gap between the Broncos and the Titans. That's how far off the deep end Denver was. And this wasn't just about depth players. We lost core stars. Tim Patrick went down in camp. Cortland Sutton, Garrett Balls, Jerry Jeudy, Lloyd Cushenberry all missed critical time. This wasn't a minor setback. It was a full-on collapse. That team was never healthy enough to compete, and that's one of the biggest reasons we only scraped together 5 wins. But here's the kicker. This wasn't a one-year issue. Denver spent 4 straight seasons ranked among the 10 most injured teams in the league. Year after year, the same story. Talented roster, but broken bodies. It was never just bad luck. It was bad preparation, bad systems, and bad leadership. And that's why Bo Lowry's presence now feels like a breath of fresh air. Because for the first time in years, it feels like someone is finally building this team the right way. For years, the Broncos were buried in injuries, season after season with over 100 games lost. But in Nathaniel Hackett's final year, things completely unraveled. Nearly 150 games missed, a shocking, embarrassing number. The Broncos weren't just injured, they were the most broken team in football. But now, the turnaround has been unbelievable. Fast forward to today, Denver is sitting at 55, then 45 games missed in back-to-back seasons. That's night and day from where we were. And let me tell you, that's no accident. This shift is the result of a deliberate decision made by head coach Sean Payton, and it starts with one man, Bo Lowry. This isn't just a guy with experience. Bo Lowry is in a class of his own. He's got a doctorate and a master's degree in kinesiology. He was literally a professor teaching strength and conditioning techniques at LSU to future NFL trainers. But what makes Denver different is this. The Broncos are one of the only NFL teams to give this role executive level power. Bo Lowry isn't buried in the staff chart. He's a vice president. He has real authority to change systems from the top down. And with that authority, he's built something no one else has, the Lowry method. It's a performance system built on 4 powerful pillars. More on those in a second. But even just the first pillar is unlike anything else in the league. Let me explain. Each offseason, the NFLPA outlines structured workout phases. Most teams rush through phase 1. It's optional, non-contact, and slow pace. But the Broncos, they stay in phase 1 for the full 5 weeks. The only team in the league doing it. Why? Because Bo Lowry knows that rushing into full-speed drills and heavy contact leads to injuries. He's building strength, stability, and conditioning the right way. Slow, deliberate, and science-backed. And that alone has helped reshape this team's identity from fragile to fearless. Strength and conditioning isn't just about lifting weights. It's about building a foundation. Before a player ever runs a route, he needs his core strong, his body balanced, and his system ready for the grind. That's why Bo Lowry insists on maximizing phase 1 of off-season training to prevent the kind of soft tissue injuries we're seeing across the league. Take the Colts, for example. Michael Pittman Jr. went down early. The Buzz, they rushed out of phase 1 too quickly. Same thing in Buffalo. Joey Bosa picked up another injury after a similar fast-track transition. Teams keep making the same mistake, but not Denver. Bo Lowry doesn't just lead alone. He's built an entire performance empire inside the Broncos organization. Unlike most teams that rely on one guy wearing too many hats, Denver has a vice president of player health and performance and multiple directors under him. That includes a director of performance nutrition, which many NFL teams don't even prioritize. In fact, before this overhaul, Broncos players gave the team a D grade for nutrition on the NFLPA's annual report card. But after Sean Payton and Bo Lowry reshaped the staff, that D turned into a B, and last year, a dash. That's a transformation you don't see often in the NFL, and it speaks volumes. Players now receive individualized meal plans, tailored specifically to their body types, recovery needs, and performance goals. This isn't fast food. This is fuel, optimized for warriors. And the innovation doesn't stop there. Sean Payton, always ahead of the curve, just made another bold move, hiring the director of technology from the Golden State Warriors. Yes, the NBA's elite dynasty, now part of the Broncos' brain trust. That means more data, more science, and more cutting-edge solutions to keep these players not just on the field, but dominant on it. Bo Lowry has taken player care to a whole new level, and it starts with something as simple yet powerful as GPS tracking. Every single Broncos player now wears a GPS device during practice. Why? Because they're measuring everything. Total distance run, sprint volume, movement intensity, all in real time. It's not just data for the sake of data. It's load management with purpose. They're making sure players aren't being pushed too hard, too fast. This is how you prevent injuries before they happen. What's especially impressive, this isn't coming from some flashy analytics-obsessed rookie coach. This is Sean Payton, a proven old-school football mind, fully embracing new-school innovation. He's blending toughness with tech, experience with evolution, and the magic really happens with individualized wrist tracking. The Broncos have partnered with Exos, a high-level performance analytics company, to build personalized injury profiles for every player. These profiles sort guys into buckets based on real-time health data, injury history, muscle strain patterns, even biomechanical red flags. So if a player shows early signs of risk, let's say a minor calf strain that could evolve into a serious Achilles tear, the team adjusts instantly. That player might get limited reps, be held out of contact, or alternate days in practice. Proactive recovery, not reactive panic. We saw this in action with J.K. Dobbins during Broncos camp. Fans noticed he was participating in stretches, standing behind Bo Nix during handoffs, but he wasn't taking the reps himself. That wasn't laziness. That was precision. Dobbins was assigned to a high-risk group, and Denver's staff was protecting his future, not risking it. And that's why what Bo Lowry and Sean Payton are building here isn't a trend. It's a blueprint. Because when you protect your players like this, you give them a real chance to hit their ceiling. And if just 3 of those high-upside guys stay healthy this year, everything changes. When players stay healthy, truly healthy, the rest of the NFL takes notice, and they get nervous. That's why free agents are choosing Denver, not just for the city, not just for the coach, but because of Bo Lowry. He's not just a trainer, he's a guardian of their careers. Other teams might have one or two guys handling health and recovery. Denver, we've got an entire department, a vice president of player health, with a larger staff than most franchises even dream of. And every single player knows this is the one place where their bodies, futures, and success are protected at the highest level. It's not just about resources, it's about vision. Bo Lowry and Sean Payton are perfectly aligned. From how they approach the grind of camp to how they treat the preseason, they're operating with one clear goal: keep this roster ready, not rusty. Remember the Hackett era? Players barely touched the field in preseason. Fans bought tickets and watched backups jog around. No Russell Wilson, no energy, no rhythm, not anymore. When Sean Payton took over, that changed. We saw Bo Nix on the field. Starters got real reps. The team hit the season opener prepared, not protected, and it paid off. Let's be crystal clear. The Broncos didn't become one of the NFL's healthiest teams by chance. It was built, planned, engineered. Even Drew Brees, a future Hall of Famer, credits Bo Lowry for extending his career. In his words, Bo added years to my life in football. His leadership and vision are second to none. And when Bo was poached from the Saints by LSU, their athletic director didn't hesitate. He called him a game changer, someone who would instantly make their program the most efficient and effective in the country. Now he's here, in Denver, and for once the rest of the league should be worried. When LSU called their sports medicine program the most advanced in college football, that wasn't just hype, that was Bo Lowry's blueprint. Even while working with LSU's athletes, he was still teaching kinesiology at the university level. That's the kind of elite dual-threat mind Denver brought in. Yes, Bo Nix might end up being the steal of the NFL draft, but let's not kid ourselves. The Broncos might have made an even bigger steal in Bo Lowry, and this is what happens when you've got the NFL's richest owner. You're able to invest in game-changing talent off the field. You can build a structure around your players that doesn't just prepare them to win, it keeps them on the field to actually do it. That's the wild upside here. Think about J.K. Dobbins. If there was ever a year for him to finally stay healthy, it's this one. Why? Because he's never had this level of care, structure, and science-driven support in his entire football life. And look at guys like Talanoa Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw. Why did they choose Denver? Sure, they're excited about Bo Nix and the direction of the franchise, but that's only part of the story. These guys are betting on a place that values their health, that protects their careers. That's what the Broncos have become under this new regime. It's not just talk either. The NFLPA's report card backs it up. Year over year, Denver's player support systems have climbed from the bottom to near the top. Nutrition, recovery, treatment, facilities, all elite. And the real proof? Average games lost. It keeps falling. The Denver Broncos are turning injury prevention into a weapon, and it's giving us a real shot to shock the NFL. So Broncos country, buckle up, because this year, we've got something to believe in. We've got Bo Nix, we've got Bo Lowry, and we've got a whole lot to BO about.